Alrighty, so I see the camera just shut off, so that means this video is going a lot longer than I thought. I'll probably break it into 2 parts, and the gear tour will be at the end of part 2. So let's continue with the questions. So Jim7 says, Robert, what amp are you using? What are you using for an amp now on this video? So it's actually just the Fender Mustang 3 second generation. I picked one of those up a while ago, and I really like it because it actually sounds good mic'd up, and it also sounds good, you know, just like direct, just like lining out of it and stuff. So I've been really happy with that one. And pedals sound good through it too. So John the Rock, I can only play as fast as I can alternate pick, which is pretty fast. How do I get faster? Bro, you can't ask 2 questions. What's up with that? No. You know, I think a metronome's the key. That's always what I used if I wanted to get faster. So, I'm not as fast as I used to be at playing, because I kind of went on a different path of like learning stuff. But you know, I've always used a metronome. I still use it. Like I'm working on a lot of new arpeggios, and I still use a metronome. So like, if you're playing, and I'm gonna do a video on this one too, this topic. But if you're playing like at 120 beats per minute, which that's not really fast, but you know, and that's your maximum. And you really want to get to 140. No, you don't try to go from 120 to 140. Go 120, 125, 130, 135, 140, or even like smaller increments. Whatever's going to work best for you. But that's what I do for any time I'm building speed, is, you know, just a metronome. Joseph Cruz, what gauge strings do you prefer? At different guitars, different strings. So like on my Starbell, I use 9 to 42. Elixir, is it Polyweb? I think it's Polyweb. And then on the my Strats, I use 10 to 46, so a little bit heavier gauge on a Strat. Just because with single coils, they have a little bit thinner sound, so I do think that the thicker strings do kind of like chunk it up a little bit. Eric Peridomo? Sorry man, I know I'm saying all these wrong. What are your earliest memories of you picking up and playing in the guitar, and who influenced you? My earliest memories I can remember is it's just, you know, wanting to play a guitar and getting one, and I have the full story in another video, but you know, just getting, it was like a little cheap Samick. It was silver, and my parents bought it for me, which was an awesome starter guitar, and you know, playing it and totally giving up because it was a lot harder. And you know, it was about, I got the guitar and tried learning to play it, and I didn't do very well. And then it was about 3 months after I got it, 3 or 4 months in the summertime when I was on summer break from school, that I actually sat down and started learning it. So that's kind of whenever, you know, that happened. Who influenced me? Eddie Van Halen's the reason I started playing guitar, to be honest, and it was Hot for Teacher, and you know, without that I probably wouldn't be sitting here recording this video right now, to be honest. I don't know what I would be doing. I'd probably still be working at Sam's Club in marketing, and that would not be fun. But let's see, Degata Almer, I think I said your name wrong again, dude. How can I improve my phrasing? The best thing I think to do with phrasing, or at least what I do when I come up with new ideas, is I just listen to different styles of music, to be honest. I don't listen to rock and stuff like that a whole lot anymore. I honestly listen to a lot of like acoustic, like one of my all-time favorite guitar players is like Tommy Emmanuel, or you know, stuff that I can never play, but it's just interesting to listen to, and it gives me a lot of ideas, or like Andy McKee and stuff, or like jazz players, you know, like Joe Pass, Pat Martino. George Benson is one of my all-time favorite guitar players ever, and he's just ridiculous. But and any of those guys, and you know, there's like more modern players too, but you know, I listen to them and they give me a lot of new ideas that I don't get from rock music, because their playing is so out a lot of times that it inspires new ideas. So that's what I would do. You know, just listen to new stuff and try to copy what they're doing, and usually what happens is you copy it wrong and it ends up being your own thing. Okay, let's see, Captain Scarlet 4. Hi Robert, question, what camera do you use? I use a Canon Rebel T3i, which you'll see in a minute, and you know, it's just, when I was in school for media, that's what we used. We used the, I think it was like a T3, no, T2i or something. It was very similar to this, but hopefully I'll be upgrading that to a T5i because I want to have the UHS capabilities. Also, what video editing software do you use? Keep the videos coming. You are doing very good things. Cheers. Thank you so much, Captain Scarlet Fowl. And I just use iMovie at the moment, to be honest. I'm making the switch over to Final Cut Pro, but I haven't had the time to sit down and like really work with it. Just because it's like when I have videos I need to get done for like other companies or something, I don't have time to be testing out Final Cut Pro to make sure that how stuff works. So as soon as I get some free time, I'm gonna like just really learn how to actually use it. But for right now, it's just iMovie is all that I'm mainly using. It's iMovie 9 on the iMac, and then over here I use iMovie 10 just because I couldn't get 9. So 9 is much better than 10. Mason in the background. Michael Stewart, how long have you been playing, and how long did it take you to learn? Oh wait, I think I already answered this one. This must be a duplicate. I hope I've got everybody's questions answered. The final one here is from Stefan Krunick. Hope I said your name right, buddy. And it says, ooh, big question. See, this might be strange, but I want to know your opinion. So basically, I'm 16 years old. I've been playing the guitar for a year and a half now, and I feel way above average when you consider the amount of time I've been playing. And that's a big part of playing. Like, you can be playing 2 years and be, technically more sound than someone who's been playing for 9 years. It just depends on how much you play. So I'm in high school now, and I don't want to go to college in order to pursue a music career. I know many local bands whose members are college students, and that ain't very rock and roll to me. I want true rock and roll without homework assignments, studying, and responsibilities. My parents disagree with me. My father thinks it's too late for me to become one of the greatest musicians, and my mom doesn't like rock and roll at all. What I want to do after high school is work at a gas station and dedicate all my time to practicing guitar until I become the greatest that ever lived. What's your opinion? It's tough, and I don't want to seem like a person ever encouraging someone not to go to college, but you just kind of have to do what you want. Whenever I started teaching, it was tough because it was a big risk to start teaching. So I've been teaching full time for I think 3 years now. And you get better at teaching and also managing it as your own business. But I quit a full-time job whenever the economy was not super great. And luckily my wife was very supportive of it, and we did have our son who is 2 now, and it was scary. It was a risk to take, but you have to be hard-headed enough to sit there and tell yourself that you're going to make this happen, that that it not working out just isn't an option. So what I did was, I worked very hard, and a lot of it is, becoming a good teacher. So a lot of times when you start off as an okay, or even like a bad teacher. I think I was a pretty bad teacher at the beginning, but luckily I had, done this YouTube thing that is obviously like huge now. Not me, but just YouTube in general. And it really helped me teaching. I learned how to interact with people in different ways than, just if I'm a standard teacher. So, yeah, honestly, man, you have to do what you think's best. I worked at Sam's Club for almost 5 years, and, and I had a pretty good job. I was over, like, pricing and stuff, and the marketing, and, I had to do, like, all that stuff. So I gave up a good job for, to me, a better job. So this is something I enjoy. I like what I do. I'm home a lot more. I'm not tired all the time. And I don't know, it worked out good for me. So you just have to, like I said, you have to be hard-headed enough, I think, to make sure that whatever you choose is going to happen. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with going to college. A lot of the best musicians out there went to college. I mean, look at like Steve I went to Berkeley, Paul Gilbert went to Musicians Institute, and a lot of people consider them, the best guitar players in the world. So I totally think you can do it, man. You just have to, like I said, practice to death, practice all the time, and I'm sure, in a few years from now or whatever, I'll be seeing you on the cover of Guitar World magazine. I'll be like, hey, that's that dude who who sent me that question, that video, that one time with that thing on the iPad and the other stuff. But I think that's it for the questions. If I did answer your question, I'm so sorry. Blame it on the iPad, it didn't show up. But now I'm going to grab my phone and we're going to do a room tour, just the room and gear and all that stuff tour. So hopefully you've made it through this video. It's been way longer than I thought it would be. But let's get going on this gear tour, and thank you so much everybody for all the questions. That was really cool that so many of you asked questions and were interested in stuff. So without further ado, gear tour!